Hello and good evening students and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. So let us take a look at today's daily quiz. However, before that, here is a very important announcement that today we'll have the fourth session of Indian economy under our Target Prelims 2023 program. So do not forget to attend the session between 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. on our YouTube channel. The first question is, identify correct statements regarding the Quad grouping. It is a grouping of 4 countries: India, Australia, the USA and the UK. It was established in the year 2017. Australia will be the host for 2023 Quad Summit. Now Quad, it is a very important grouping that India is a part of. The first time that this idea was mooted was back in the year 2007 by the then Japanese Prime Minister Mr. Shinzo Abe. So that means Japan is also a part of it. So UK is not a part of it. However, Japan is. The Quad grouping, it got established in the year 2017 eventually, with India, Australia, USA and Japan as the members of it. In 2023, the next summit of Quad grouping, it will be held in the city of Sydney in Australia. So that means that this is a wrong statement. This is correct and this is correct. So your correct answer is C. Next question is, how many of the following statements are true regarding GEM, Government E-Marketplace? It is an online marketplace established to help the government and the public sector units or public sector enterprises procure only products for their use. The Womania initiative of GEM was launched in collaboration with the Self-Employed Women's Association Bharat, that is Seva Bharat. The Swayat initiative of Government E-Marketplace aims to help young entrepreneurs to get established on the portal. We have taken this question because recently the central government has asked the state governments to procure all the kitchen items for their midday meal programs through the Government E-Marketplace portal. Now, Government E-Marketplace portal is a one-stop national public procurement portal to facilitate online procurement of common use products as well as the services required by various central and state government departments, organizations and the public sector units. It was launched in the year 2016. And the nodal ministry for this Government E-Marketplace is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. In the year 2019, the Government E-Marketplace launched the program of Womania on GEM. That was an initiative to enable the women entrepreneurs and the women SHGs to sell handicrafts and handlooms, accessories, jute, coir products and other products to the various government ministries, departments and the institutions in order to achieve gender inclusive economic growth. Now recently in 2023, the GEM has signed Memorandum of Understanding with Seva Bharat to train, assist and enable the various women-led MSMEs, women entrepreneurs and SHGs with regards to requirement of products and selling of products on the Government E-Marketplace. The Swayat scheme, that is Startups, Women and Youth Advantage through ease transactions, was also started in the year 2019 to further increase the presence of the startups, women-led enterprises and the youth enterprises on the Government E-Marketplace. So out of these statements, this is incorrect because not just products but also services are included in this Government E-Marketplace. This is also incorrect. However, this is correct. So your correct answer is A. The next question is, which of the following statements best describes an eco-sensitive zone? It is the central part of a national park where no human activities are allowed. It is the zone within a biosphere reserve that has been recognized under the Man and Biosphere Program of UNESCO. It is an area around the protected areas where certain human activities are prohibited or regulated. It is a marine area recognized in the High Seas Treaty where no fishing and mining activities will be allowed. We have taken this particular question because recently the Supreme Court of India has modified its earlier order on eco-sensitive zones around the national parks, sanctuaries and other protected areas. Now, eco-sensitive zones, ESZ, also known as ecologically fragile areas, are notified by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. The basic aim for declaration of such areas is to regulate certain activities around the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries so as to minimize the negative impacts of such activities on the fragile ecosystems in the protected areas. It also helps in reducing the man-animal conflicts. Now, there are certain activities that are completely prohibited in the ESZs. That includes mining activities, sawmills, industries that can cause pollution, establishment of major hydroelectric powers and so on. While other activities, they are regulated like felling of trees, establishment of hotels and resorts, and some activities they are permitted. That includes the ongoing agricultural and horticultural practices, use of renewable energy and so on. So when we see here, this is actually the core area of the national park. In the core area of national park, no human activities are allowed. The correct answer for us is C, that is, it is an area around the protected areas where certain human activities are prohibited or regulated. Next question is, which of the following statements are correct? DNA carries the genetic information that gets passed down through generations. It is made up of 4 types of nucleotides which help in the connection of the 2 strands of the DNA. DNA and RNA differ in only one nitrogenous base. We have taken this question because on the 70th anniversary of the publishing of the paper that helped us increase our understanding on DNA, there is still an ongoing debate whether a scientist known as Rosalind Franklin, she had a role in the DNA's discovery. She was not given the Nobel Prize for DNA, which was given out in the year 1962. However, it is considered that she played a very important role in the discovery of DNA. So DNA, you know, it has a double helix structure. So 2 strands of DNA, they are joined with each other by the action of nucleotides. Now, a nucleotide includes 3 parts: a nitrogen base, sugar and phosphate. So this is phosphate, this is sugar and this is the nitrogen base. So the nitrogen bases, they can be of 4 types in any DNA. There can be adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. So adenine always attaches with thymine, while cytosine always attaches with guanine. There is a double bond between A and T and a triple bond between C and G. Now please note that DNA and RNA, they differ in one nucleotide. That is, instead of thymine, we have uracil, nitrogen base in the RNA. So if we see here, this is correct because yes, your DNA, it has certain genes which gets passed down through the generations by the process of reproduction. This is also correct. Yes, it is made up of 4 types of nucleotides A, T, C, G. Each nucleotide has 1 nitrogen base, 1 sugar and 1 phosphate. This is also correct. They differ only in nitrogenous base. So instead of thymine, RNA has uracil. So all the statements are correct. Next we come to a PYQ. In ancient Indian Buddhist monasteries, a ceremony called Pavarana used to be held. It was the occasion to elect the Sangha Parinayak and 2 speakers, one on Dhamma and the other on Vinaya. Confession by monks of their offense committed during their stay in the monasteries during the rainy season, ceremony of initiation of new person into the Buddhist Sangha in which the head is shaved and yellow robes are offered, gathering of Buddhist monks on the next day to the full moon day of Ashad when they take up a fixed abode for the next 4 months of rainy season. Now Pavarana, it is a Buddhist holy day that is celebrated on the full moon of 11th lunar month. Now this marks the end of the month of Vasa, which is also known as Buddhist Lent. Now this day marks the end of the rainy season in some Asian countries. Now on this day, every monk must come before the community of monks and atone for any offense they may have committed during the Vasa period. So the correct answer is B. Now we move to the fact of the day, which is on policy on medical devices sector. Now yesterday on 26th April, the Cabinet of India approved the policy for the medical devices sector. This will help us in growing this sector from the present $11 billion to $50 billion within the span of 5 years. We want to achieve a share of 10 to 12% in the expanding global market over the next 25 years. The mission of this policy is to accelerate the growth of this sector to achieve access and universality, affordability, quality, patient-centered and quality care, preventive and promotive health, security, research and innovation, and skilled manpower. Now various strategies they have been planned under this policy to help us achieve these goals. So what are these strategies? First is regulatory streamlining. So under this, a single window clearance system for licensing of medical devices, it will be established. Then we have enabling infrastructure, under which there will be establishment and strengthening of large medical device parks, clusters equipped with world-class common infrastructure facility in proximity to the economic zones with proper logistic connectivity for proper forward and backward integration of the medical device sector. Then we have facility on R&D and innovation. The policy, it wants to promote R&D in India, and it also wants to complement the proposed national policy on R&D and innovation in pharma medtech sector in India. It aims to establish centers of excellence in academic and research institutes, innovation hubs, and a lot of infrastructure and support to the startups. Next is attracting investments in the sector, which will be done through venture capitalist and also PPP mode. Also schemes like Make in India, Ayushman Bharat, Heal in India Startup Mission, they will also assist in promoting the investments in the sector. Next is human resource development, so as to have a steady supply of skilled workforce all across the value chain. That is the scientists, regulators, health experts, managers, technicians, everything. So all this kind of human resource, it will be developed through this scheme. Under this, even skilling, reskilling and upskilling of the professionals will be undertaken. And it will also support dedicated multidisciplinary courses for medical devices in the existing institutes. Apart from that, partnerships will also be developed with foreign academic and industry organizations to develop medical technologies so as to be at an equal pace with the world industry. Lastly, brand positioning and awareness creation. So under this policy, creation of a dedicated export promotion council for the sector, it will be done. Various studies and projects for learning from best global practices of manufacturing and skilling systems will also be undertaken. Now please note that during the COVID crisis, during the COVID pandemic, India, it went through a large-scale production of a variety of devices and diagnostic kits, and through this dedicated policy on this sector, India will definitely in the upcoming years will become a champion to provide affordable healthcare devices to the entire world. So with that, we come to an end to today's daily quiz. I hope you were able to understand all the concepts. So do not forget to tell us how many questions were you able to answer correctly. Thank you very much and have a very good day ahead.